There's no doubt that the Civil War was one of the bloodiest wars ever fought due to advances in warfare technology. Unfortunately, medicine was not as advanced. Amputation was one of the most common treatments for bullet wounds during the Civil War. As you can see in this, injured soldiers were taken from the battlefield in wagons to hospital rooms. This is a photo of an injured soldier being taken to the wagon after a long day of battle. Although many soldiers were taken to hospitals, many hospitals did not have enough room, having to take care of the soldiers from outside. Many surgeons and nurses were not qualified and did not have the right equipment, especially those from the south. In the north, the U.S. Army would supply a big wooden box filled with a bone saw, calipers, a few metal probes, surgical needles, scissors, suture materials, forceps, and incidentals. In the South, surgeons relied on equipment acquired before the war. Since painkillers were scarce during the Civil War, especially in the South, whiskey was used as a painkiller, especially during amputations and operations. It is incredible to hear that only 1 in 4 soldiers that went into the war had a chance of coming back. It is also incredible to hear that from 600,000 casualties in all, only 66.9 were made in warfare. The other 33.1% were made through disease such as salmonella and typhoid. Also, there are other various diseases such as diarrhea and the soldiers also died from gangrene, which is when your skin is rotting away, the flesh is rotting away due to an obstruction of blood flow, and this is because of the surgery, which is the amputations, which occurred because in those times they did not know how to deal with it. Only 75% of all amputees only made it out. And another killer, of course, was the typhoid fever, which is a devastating one. This was normally more in the south, and these are caused by a consumption of food or water contaminated by salmonella. And approximately 1/4 of all servicemen, the Union alone reported over 1 million cases of it during the course of the war. Poor diet and exposure to the elements only added to the burden. The third leading killer disease after of the war, after typhoid and dysentery, which is of course gangrene, was pneumonia, which was because of all the cold and lack of clothing or proper clothing for clothes. Pneumonia was most commonly occurred in the northern area. Also, it was very common to have. There's outbreaks of malaria, and because this was an early time where Harvard, I don't think Harvard even had a medical studies, which is a very prestigious university and was at the time as well. They didn't know how to control or they didn't know how to stop or cure the disease. So there are outbreaks of measles, chickenpox, mumps, fever, salmonella, everything, which caused a lot of lives to be lost. And the Union alone reported as well 995 out of every man. Out of 995, sorry, more than 995 of every 1,000 men eventually contracted chronic diarrhea or dysentery during the war. Now, that is a lot. That's 99.5%, and that is a lot of a percentage as well. But most soldiers died, of course, of small things that today you wouldn't die of unless you're in a really bad condition. And of course, simple things like measles and chickenpox and mumps and coughs, or just like a mosquito bite or fever, diarrhea. Soldiers would become dehydrated, and of course, like I said before, this would be because or due to the lack of food or contaminated food or contaminated water. And so basically it was as well poor diet or exposure to elements exposure to elements that only added as well the sicknesses. And yeah, I think that's it, and have a nice day.